Welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Nina Daniels. Now the headlines. With just 1 month to United States presidential election, candidates are spending final major campaign days at swing states, while Tunisians protesting against President Kais Saied a day to Sunday's election. President Macron presides over a summit being attended by leaders of Francophone countries to boost French influence in a world beset by crises, Africa in particular. Plus, Chairman, National Population Commission, Nasiru Issa Kwara, presents Nigeria's scorecard on SDGs at the just concluded United Nations General Assembly. Addressing multidimensional challenges facing global communities requires stronger cooperation among nations, and the United Nations must prioritize inclusivity to achieve Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs 2030 agenda. Chairman, National Population Commission, Nasiru Issa Kwara, who spoke on Nigeria's social development progress at the third committee plenary meeting of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in the United States, called for more commitment among nations. Oluseyi Adiagbo has details.
The third committee plenary meeting at the 79th session of the UN General Assembly UNGA centers on social development, and the platform is for UN members to present national commitments to the principle of equality and justice. For the NPC chairman, Nigerian government prioritizes social development, highlighting several policies and programs of President Bola Tinubu's administration towards achieving desired growth.
It is part of government plan to reduce extreme poverty, food insecurity, malnutrition, inequality, and ameliorate the suffering of the vulnerable families. This initiative is directly and indirectly impacting the lives of poor Nigerians through its 4 cluster programs. The Nigerian government has launched a student loan scheme aimed at providing financial assistance to individuals from poor backgrounds to ensure quality education for all. We believe that our youths are leaders of tomorrow. Therefore, government is organizing a national youth conference that will enable them to participate actively in nation building and drive policies that would impact their lives.
With countries struggling with the implementation of the 2030 UN agenda, Nasiru Issa Kwara emphasizes on the need for better synergy.
I would like to call on more collaboration between the member states, United Nations agencies, and partners to be able to tackle multiple crises facing the world while also building resilience to eradicate poverty.
This year's UN General Assembly is themed Unity and Diversity for Advancing Peace, Sustainable Development, and Human Dignity everywhere and for all. Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA News.
And as the United States general election is a month away, candidates are spending final major campaign days at states known as swing states. Tunisians protest against President Kais Saied a day to October 6 election. Let's join Kolo Mohammed for more.
French leaders gathered for the 19th Francophone Summit, the first time the event has been held in France for 33 years. Macron is also holding bilateral talks with several top guests on the sides. France's sway in Africa has been badly eroded by successive coups. 2021 in Mali, Burkina Faso in 2022, and Niger in 2023, which saw Paris-friendly government replaced by juntas who built relations with Russia. Meanwhile, crisis brewing in the Middle East has had nations of the world repatriate their citizens back home for safety. The latest is the Dutch, whose military plane flew citizens out of Lebanon.
Millions of people who left their homes. So it's really a humanitarian disaster.
I'm feeling happy but sad at the same time, because I am leaving people behind in this sadness of everyday strike, innocent people dying, and it's very hard for me to see this happening.
World leaders have cautioned against allowing the Middle East crisis escalate into a global war. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Further to the deteriorating situation in Lebanon over the Israel-Hezbollah conflict, the federal government has commenced preparation for the evacuation of Nigerians in Lebanon back to Nigeria. A statement by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador NTA Abuja, informs that the government has taken measures to ensure the protection and safety of Nigerian nationals in Lebanon. The Nigerian embassy in Lebanon advises Nigerian nationals to strongly consider voluntary evacuation while options of commercial flights remain available. So far, Nigerian nationals in the south of Lebanon have been evacuated to Beirut and to other safer areas in collaboration with the leadership of the Nigerian community. The statement adds that no Nigerian life has been lost since the beginning of the conflict, and the ministry reassures that the federal government is engaging with relevant stakeholders in the evacuation. The International Criminal Court, ICC, has unsealed arrest warrants for 6 men allegedly linked to a brutal Libyan militia blamed for multiple killings and other crimes. The crimes were committed in a western town where mass graves were discovered in 2020. ICC prosecutor Karim Khan said his investigation has gathered evidence indicating that Tahunan residents have been subjected to crimes amounting to war crimes, including murder, cruel treatment, torture, sexual violence, and rape. Khan said 3 of the suspects were leaders or senior members of the Al-Qaniyat militia that controlled Tahunan from 2015 to June 2020, and 3 others were Libyan security officials associated with the militia at the time of the alleged crimes. Khan said the arrests were issued April 2023 and July 2024, and surrender can be achieved most effectively through the unsealing of the warrants. Libya has been in political turmoil since a NATO-backed uprising toppled and killed longtime dictator Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. And South Africa's housing problems have been further worsened as several rural towns in KwaZulu-Natal province have been carpeted in snow. 2 deaths were recorded as rare snowfalls blocked roads, cutting off communication and damaging mud homes in rural areas like KwaZulu-Natal.
Swangobani Kumalu's small mud home at the foot of the Drakensberg Mountains has weathered many storms, but it was the first time it endured snow. The heavy snowfall damaged the only window in the home and an already leaking roof.
We were asleep when the snow came. It melted and flooded the house. We did not sleep the whole night.
I'm so afraid because they were cold too much, and there's a lot of water on there. There was a lot of things with the snow, and I'm so scared. And I think we will die because there was a lot of cold.
A second home stands next to it, but with the family relying mainly on social grants and part-time jobs, the roof remains unfinished and offers little protection from freezing temperatures.
There's no help from the government. There are councillors, but nobody has come here since the snow came and damaged our home.
Provincial authorities are still trying to ascertain the trail of devastation left by the snow.
We're doing a profiling of communities, but we've got mud houses, communities that are living in mud houses. We have a huge backlog as a department, in relation to building of new houses for these communities in need.
South Africa's housing struggles stem back to apartheid when non-whites were forbidden from owning land. Despite more than 3 million homes built, a shortage of 3.7 million remain. The shortage is being exacerbated in KwaZulu-Natal by a series of floods in the last few years, which has claimed hundreds of lives and left scores of others homeless.
Well, dozens of leaders of French-speaking countries are attending the Francophone Summit in hopes to boost French influence in a world beset by crises, Africa in particular. And first Dutch flight flies citizens out of Lebanon. Over now to Kolo Mohammed for details.
French leaders gathered for the 19th Francophone Summit, the first time the event has been held in France for 33 years. Macron is also holding bilateral talks with several top guests on the sides. France's sway in Africa has been badly eroded by successive coups. 2021 in Mali, Burkina Faso in 2022, and Niger in 2023, which saw Paris-friendly government replaced by juntas who built relations with Russia. Meanwhile, crisis brewing in the Middle East has had nations of the world repatriate their citizens back home for safety. The latest is the Dutch, whose military plane flew citizens out of Lebanon.
Millions of people who left their homes. So it's really, really a humanitarian disaster.
I'm feeling happy but sad at the same time because I am leaving people behind in this sadness of everyday strike, innocent people dying, and it's very hard for me to see this happening.
World leaders have cautioned against allowing the Middle East crisis escalate into a global war. Kolom Muhammad, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. Let's now take a break now. More reports in just a moment. Thanks for joining us again. Vice President Kashim Shettima has directed the immediate inauguration of the National Road Safety Advisory Council for a more robust and result-oriented collection action and road safety. The directive, which is aimed at addressing Nigeria's road safety challenges and drastically reducing road traffic crashes on the roads, was given during a meeting with the management of the Federal Road Safety Corps, led by Corps Marshal Sheikh Mohammed at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Speaking during the meeting with the FRSC Corps Marshal Sheikh Mohammed, the Vice President stressed the urgent need to address the increasing road accidents on the highways and in the cities caused by non-adherence to traffic regulations. The Vice President reveals that all arrangements are concluded to inaugurate the National Road Safety Advisory Council. This is in line of achieving the vision of United Nations Decade of Action on Road Safety 2021 to 2030, which emphasizes zero tolerance to road traffic fatalities. Vice President, who chairs the National Road Safety Advisory Council, highlighted the importance of leveraging technology and enforcing discipline to improve road safety in Nigeria. And reducing the prevalence of breast cancer amongst Nigerian women is getting appreciable attention. Wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima, in her message at the Defense and Police Wives Association's DEPOA quarterly breast cancer screening exercise, emphasized the importance of early detection and investment in research and pharmaceutical products to reduce the spread.
300 women within the military community working to heighten advocacy on breast cancer. DEPOA is not relenting in reducing the figures for women in the barracks through screening, treatment and counseling. The message of the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shettima, delivered hinged on early detection, family support and healthy lifestyle.
Share information about the risk factors associated with breast cancer, provide resources and share information about available care services and support networks.
The 2022 survey on cancer by WHO indicates that 2.3 million women die from the scourge of breast cancer, which could be prevented.
This year we are looking at screening over 500 free. They will come, we will take them with our vehicle, and for those that are already affected, we are also providing some help, financial help to them to be able to enable them get their treatment, medication, and support their overall well-being.
Stand straight and look at the mirror. Is there any change in your breast? Is one dragging up and the other one down or something? You know, you want to check for any obvious changes.
Medical experts recommend healthy living, subsidized medical services, and regular checks. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And in celebration of World Teachers' Day 2024, the federal government reaffirms commitment to prioritize teachers' welfare and professional development as a cornerstone of the administration's DOTS policy, which is geared towards transforming Nigeria's education system. Representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the event, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation emphasized that the current administration will ensure no hard work goes unrecognized, underscoring the vital role teachers play in national development. Zenres Digmam reports.
World Teachers' Day is a significant event as educators from across the nation gathered at Eagle Square, Abuja, to commemorate the triumphs and challenges of the teaching profession. Players in the sector highlighted the indispensable role of teachers, who are key to implementing education policies and ensuring Nigerian students receive quality education.
I charge all to continue to uphold the ideals of our noble profession and to keep the flag flying as the torchbearer, pathfinder, character holder, change agent, and nation builder.
I'm confident that as time goes by and as we give more recognition to our esteemed teachers, positive things shall begin to fall in the right places for our country.
In line with its renewed efforts to revamp the education sector, the federal government has launched several initiatives aimed at supporting teachers. These include scholarships, the dual mode policy allowing students to pursue both NCE and degree programs concurrently, and the integration of digital learning to align Nigerian education with global standards.
The federal government of Nigeria presently places emphasis on the teaching profession as enshrined in the national policy on education, which states amongst other goals of teacher education to provide highly motivated, conscientious, and efficient classroom teachers for all levels of our educational system.
Your work transcends the classroom. It shapes the hearts and minds of our future leaders, innovators, and change makers. Despite the challenges you face, your commitment remains unwavering, and for this, we are deeply grateful.
When teachers are appreciated and acknowledged for their hard work, creativity, and commitment, they are empowered to continue shaping lives with passion and innovation.
The theme for this year's celebration, Valuing Teachers' Voices Towards a New Social Contract for Education, served as a call to action for increased support for teachers. As part of the festivities, 3 outstanding teachers were awarded brand new vehicles through the President's Teachers and Schools Excellence Awards. Additionally, the Best School Award recipient was presented with a school bus generously donated by the Governor of Kebbi State. Governors from Borno, Kano, and Kebbi states were also recognized as teacher-friendly governors for their exceptional contributions to the education sector, further solidifying government's commitment to uplifting educators nationwide. In Abuja, Zenred Digmam, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has applauded teachers all around the world for their unquantifiable contributions to reforms that are critical to societal development. In a message to mark this year's World Teachers' Day, the First Lady, who is a teacher and a lover of the profession herself, says the theme of the day, valuing teachers' voices towards a new social contract for education, reflects how critical their insights are for influencing the development of curricula that enhance the quality of education and make reforms more successful. While acknowledging the role of parents, grandparents, and guardians as the first set of a child's teachers, the First Lady, quoting Japanese-American author Guy Kawasaki, says, and I quote, "If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes," unquote. She wishes them a happy celebration, reminding them that they shape destinies and can never tell where their influence stops. Secure Our World is the theme for the 2024 Cybersecurity Week, as the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center is marking the week with a roadwork to create awareness about the ills of cybercrime, considering the fact that a lot of youths are getting involved. Francis Form reports that operatives of security agencies and partners had converged on the headquarters. Thereafter, they all walked through the Shagari Way, holding placards with different inscriptions signifying the 2024 Cyber Week, and had a turn at the Transcorp Hotel Junction back to the force headquarters.
The crime is on the increase, so we have to actually be, on our best to make sure that people are well informed, potential victims, to know what to do when confronted with this kind of crime. And I can tell you clearly that the cyber criminals are not finding it easy with us, and that's why we discovered now most of them are relocating from Nigeria, to neighboring countries, West African countries, and it's because of the hit that we're giving them.
CP Ifeanyi Uche further reveals that the NPF National Cybercrime Center had secured more than 12 convictions with monies recovered, and assures the people that more cases are still under prosecution. The federal government, Niger State, and a French firm have signed an MOU on food production. The French firm has shown interest in investing in the Nigerian agricultural project under the renewed hope agenda of the federal government. In a related development, the federal and Niger State governments have signed a multi-billion naira agreement for the cultivation of a variety of crops during the upcoming dry season farming activities. Musa Baba Aliyu reports that 100,000 hectares will be cultivated in phases as part of this agreement.
This is an agreement signed between Niger State government and the federal government agency with the aim of scaling up food production in the country. Niger State will make 100,000 hectares of land available for the cultivation of variety of crops in the upcoming dry season farming activities. Both parties will provide 5 billion naira for the initiative, with Niger State supply incentives and farming equipment for the project.
We can reassure you that the pilot scheme for 10,000 hectares, we're going to scale it up. We're going to start with the 50,000. So we'll prepare 50,000 hectares and give to you. I'll give to the partners from the French to come in. Again, Niger State government can match any fund that is coming from NAF, the National Agricultural Development Fund.
In addition, the Executive Secretary of the Agricultural Development Trust Fund disclosed that a French firm has expressed interest in investing in the Nigerian food security project.
The intention of the program they want to do is essentially to bring technology transfer, what they have in the advanced world, to come in and teach our farmers and ensure that we develop into a proper commercial agricultural setting. The ticket sizes they are looking at would range from $3 to $5 million, and we have chosen that Niger State and Cross River states to have some balance of the type of crops they are doing other states that we are going to.
The mandate of the agency includes intervention and coordinating international donor funding towards agriculture in the country. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
With intense efforts to promote healthy aging, the aged in Kefi Emirates and Nasarawa State have benefited from a medical outreach put together by the National Senior Citizen Center. Elizabeth Amori reports that the gesture is in commemoration of the 2024 National Day of Elder Persons.
Caring for the senior citizens is becoming easier thanks to prioritized attention by the federal government in line with the renewed hope agenda. And 5th of November is set aside as National Older Persons Day to create the needed awareness to build a healthy and empowered older adults. This medical outreach seeks to meet the medical needs of this segment of society. Beneficiaries were treated for malaria, hypertension, diabetes, and arthritis with few referrals.
Free food, free chair,
It's very wonderful.
I thank them. May God continue to help us all and continue to help them in what they are doing.
The NSCC boss and other partners explained that there is the need for intersectoral action for healthy aging.
Dignity is gained by accessing care and support services, especially where their functional capacity declines. So what you have seen here today is coming to promote healthy aging.
We started because we know that once you are above the age of 65, the NHIS doesn't cover you anymore.
Aside consultations and lectures on healthy living, assistive devices were distributed to the elderly within the Emirates. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And now a check on Sunday's weather prospect for Nigeria and other cities of the world. And this is where we end the news. Thank you for watching.